An 11 a.m. kickoff yesterday at Sam Stadium for Harlingen, and the Cardinals started slowly, but they sped up pretty quick with Brandon Garza at quarterback hitting Steven Gasca for not one but two touchdowns in this one. Meanwhile, with Marky Castillo out, it was Derek Rodriguez getting intercepted not once but twice by the big red defensive machine, and Harlingen wins it, but with a heavy heart. Manny Gomez thinking about his former teammate Mark Vasquez, who passed away up in the DFW area this past week, but he said he had to give it up to Brownsville veterans. He liked their game plan coming into this one.
It was a challenge. They got big offensive linemen, and they were at times were able to dig us out and stuff, which is critical to their team. Like I said, they're a good football team, and it's one of those things that if you're not right, if you're not ready, anything can happen on a Friday night or a Saturday morning. So, like I said, we adjusted and when we came.
So while a lot of the focus this year in Harlingen has been on Brandon Garza and their basic West Coast offense of the Cardinals, Harlingen South Sean Montemayor has been getting it done for a third straight year. Had an incredible game with 5 touchdown passes this last week against Brownsville Rivera right when he needed it. The Hawks know they don't go anywhere on this offense without Montemayor leading the way, and they're happy to have him under center.
Sean's a real leader. He knows everybody's studies and everybody what they got to do. If we don't know what to do, we'll ask him and they'll tell us on the field.
You know, he's a 3-year starter. He was starting here before I came here, before I knew him. And he's a leader, does a good job. He's at practice every day, you know, and he makes plays. Sometimes things break down, and he keeps a play alive and makes things happen.
He makes things happen on the offense, but Armando, what Harlingen South is doing on defense is incredible. They let up no offensive touchdowns from any of their opponents for the month of September. They finally let one up to Chris Montez this past Friday. Harlingen looks like the complete package.
They do, and you know, and the offense gets a lot of the headlines, and we know all those players' names by heart already. But you got to give this defense credit. They're aggressive up front, and you know they take a lot of pride in putting up those goose eggs on the board. That's for sure.
Yeah, look at the standings in 32-5A, and then there's no surprise after Week 7 that Harlingen and Harlingen South are both 5-0, getting ready for the Bird Bowl in Week 9. Los Fresnos at 4-1, also no surprise. But look below, Hannah 3-2, Veterans a half game back at 3-3, Lopez 1 game behind Hannah at 2-3, and now this week we've got Brownsville Veterans at Los Fresnos. Finally, the Falcons get away from Sam Stadium. And Armando, how does this game turn out? Los Fresnos looked good. Eli Cruz, Javi Cruz, all the Cruzes, Brandon Colon. Los Fresnos looked pretty good against pace.
They did. They started fast, and that's what they need to do. Being back at home, like you said, it seems like they're always playing in Brownsville, but the Falcons in this one, I think they're going to get some steam here. I got to go with the Falcons at home.
Well, you saw Brownsville Veterans yesterday. They might have Marky Castillo back. Will that make a difference, or does Los Fresnos take this one, John?
It'll make a difference, but I'm telling you, they're so young that they're getting better and better and better every week, and I think Veterans has a chance to walk in there and win this, and I'm going to pick them. Well, I'm going to go with Los Fresnos just because that offense, you know, they passed it to Brandon Colon in the first half, and then they ran it with William Cox in the second half. This offense is getting more and more versatile every week. I've got the Falcons winning that one. Meanwhile, Brownsville Hannah takes on Brownsville Rivera. That is a huge game. Rivera could put themselves in playoff position with a win over Brownsville Hannah. Armando, who's going to win it?
We talked about the style points that Rivera's been putting up, you know, playing great in losses. But I have to go with Hannah just because I think it's a smart pick. I think they'll get up for this game. These are two of your fringe teams in district, if you want to call them that. I'll go with Hannah. Hannah,
of course, starting a sophomore quarterback, just like Brownsville Veterans had been. Who have you got winning it, Joe?
Well, they've won the games they've had to win to stay in playoff contention, and that was against Veterans, and they're going to do it again.
All right, I'm calling for the upset. I'm the only guy picking Brownsville Rivera, but with what Chris Montez did this past week and with what Jaquil Evans did a couple of weeks ago, I just think this Rivera offense is on the move. If Tom Chavez can get the defense going, which is what Tom Chavez teams do, then I've got Rivera pulling the upset there. But we are coming right back. Going to talk a little District 35A and going to talk about captain comeback for the Edinburgh Vela Sabercats, keeping them in it. Eber football plus. We're also talking about the total package. Sherryland, offense, defense, they can even get it done with some bad snaps. It doesn't matter. They got it done against Donna. It's all next.